I'm so excited to be here with my good friend Tim Gannon. Tim is the legendary co-founder of Outback Steakhouse, but today Tim is building a new company, and it's a business that is catching another important wave in the food industry. This time it's really fast casual dining. Tim, it's a real pleasure to be able to have this conversation with you. I have to point out that Tim invited me to be his chairman of the board of this new company, PDQ. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about what PDQ is, because obviously I'm excited about it. I know you are, but it seems to be just the right idea at the right moment.
First of all, I'd like to say it's amazing to be called legendary by John Scully. I just gotta kind of say that this is a great moment for me, because you're such a legend. I just have to get that out there. PDQ. You know, I retired from Outback, and we had a great run, 26 years, and that was fabulous. And so my partner Bob Basham came up with this concept. Again, you look at the marketplace, just like we did with Outback. We looked at the marketplace. What does the marketplace need? Not what do we want to do, but what really does the marketplace need? And what we both figured out, Bob figured this out, people dedicated to quality. That's what PDQ means. And it needs, names need to be easy to remember. We chose Outback from the movie Crocodile Dundee. PDQ is a great, fun name because it also kind of connotes pretty darn quick, you know, or pretty damn quick for other edgy people. But pretty darn quick is really important to get food quick. A lot of people in the restaurant business don't pay enough attention to speed and how easy their food must be to get and how convenience is such a big thing.
So describe what the experience is like, because I have to tell you, I have never been in a restaurant as I have been at the one that you have in South Florida at West Palm Beach, which was really the first one you built out, or one of the first that you built out in the South Florida franchise territory. And there's 7,000 people that go through that restaurant on a typical day. And when I walk into a PDQ restaurant, it's just amazing looking around at the people there. And you see college-age kids, you see soccer moms with their children, you see retired people, you see workers in uniforms. I mean, it's like a cross-cut of America.
It is.
And they're all in there, and they all have smiling faces.
Yeah.
Describe for us what that PDQ experience is like, because it really is exceptional.
Well, I think you have to connect with customers. You know, chefs, as I was involved in the chef world and gourmet world, and I love gourmet restaurants, but what people really want when they walk into a restaurant, if you ask them, what is it that's important? They care about taste, value, and price, or value and price are the same things, but it's really, what does the food taste like, right? And then how much does it cost? And value is, Walmart figured this out about how important value is. You know, I just heard Walmart doing something where if you find a price that's lower than theirs, they'll give you a credit card that gives you a value. That's incredible commitment to value on the Walmart, since they're just product oriented, not service oriented.
So let's unpack that a little bit. The typical price for a meal is about $7.50.
That's correct.
And I know, because I go there pretty routinely, that it takes about 2.5 minutes, no matter how many people you have, you know, in the restaurant being served. 7,000 typically at a lunchtime period. They can get into line, and about 2.5 minutes later, they've got their order in.
That's correct.
And
you know,
how do you do all that?
Well, you know, a lot of it is from technology. There's a new wave of technology that hits the restaurant. Before at Outback, we would put in an order and we'd write the time of what time it was put in, and then we'd call out the time, hey, that order's at 12 minutes, we need to get it out in 2 minutes. What we do at PDQ is that we have a screen with colors. And colors is a much more profound way to show people where they're at in life. And it's blue, yellow, and red. Yeah. And blue means that we're executing every order in under 1:30. Yellow is over that, up to 2 minutes. And red means, wow, we got to get that food out. And so that is really, and that screen talks to both the chefs and the expediters. So everyone is on the same page. There's very little communication about urgency of orders as you'll go in. Hey, we're late on this order. I need the waitress saying, I need this order for these customers. They're getting up, they're angry, whatever. We don't have that. From the time you walk into a PDQ, I figure, I've timed it, that it's 6 minutes from a long line to get through the line, to get to 3 registers that we have, and then to have your food in a minute and a half. It's all told about 6 minutes. So that works. And I think like Panera figured this out, went to secretaries and asked them, what's important for you? And they just said, we have to be able to come into a restaurant and to be able to leave within a 25-minute sector. And a lot of restaurateurs don't get that sense of urgency that the consumers put on the restaurant.
So the menu is a relatively short menu. If you go to an Outback, you have a wide range of choices. Right. You go into a PDQ, it's pretty simple menu.
Right, and a lot of restaurateurs get caught up in this too. People love simple menus. They really love a limited choice, but a good choice. I had a restaurant in New Orleans, and we had a big menu, and then we had a chalkboard that was special number 1 or special number 2. At lunchtime, 60% of everybody looked at the chalkboard and said, I'll have red beans and rice, I'll have shrimp etouffee, I'll have number 1, number 2. They even simplified it even more. So I'll take number 1. That made life simple for consumers. That simplicity is so important when you design a menu. People want to get too extravagant, restaurateurs and chefs, about what their menu should say and the depth of the menu, when in actuality, people want a simple menu, something they can navigate through pretty easily. Life's as complicated as it can be, and getting more complicated with technology. So whatever ways we can make it simpler for the guest, the better.
So when you asked me to get involved with PDQ, what really impressed me was, of course, the success you'd had before, because you always invest in the people, and you had been so successful with Outback. But particularly the customer experience, the importance you placed on that, and the disruptive price point that you picked. You made that combination really come alive.
Yeah, I think what's interesting in this business is you're in the space of what's called fast food, because people go and order from a cashier and they get their food right away. And so they're doing a lot of activity themselves. And that's what's different about this segment, what we call fast casual. But what we try and do is overlay all of the elements that we learned about casual dining that's important, like knowing people's names. Our to-go window has a hospitality hut, we call it, where when you order the food, you're talking to someone, and they're talking to you, and they're getting your name, and they're finding out if you have a dog in the back that might need some extra water or whatever. And then when it pours down raining, we pull out the umbrellas. This is what blows people away. When you actually pop an umbrella out and say, or you knock on somebody's window when it's pouring rain, they pull in a parking spot, and you say, can I walk you in? That is a blowaway moment for a customer when they on their way to a next meeting, they have to walk in the restaurant and they get greeted by someone with an umbrella, an employee who's getting soaking wet out there, hustling people back and forth with umbrellas. Those are incredible things. And then our little, what my partner Bob Basham actually loves is Yardley of London soap. I mean, to have that in this, could you imagine going into a Burger King and seeing the aroma of Yardley of London soap?
It's actually a stainless steel trough with a foot pedal.
Yeah.
And you can wash your hand with this
right
Yardley
in the middle of the dining
London
room. Yeah.
soap. Yeah. And then it comes out, and it's just a fun experience, and very memorable.